Okay, for a company like Avista, having a PE or EIT, would it be useful and should it be mentioned in the cover letter? Oh, I'm so glad that you asked that. So for certain positions, we don't require a PE or your FE, but it is definitely something that is really great to mention in your resume and or your definitely put it in your resume, and then you can choose whether or not you want to put it in your cover letter. At Avista, we really only require it for our senior level positions, but it's a really great thing to have for the utility. It's usually something that you'll need to have going into a utility engineering position if you want to progress through your career. And then, of course, you get the FE, and then you can get the PE, or at least I think that's still the order. I don't think they let you do them right at the same time, but it keeps changing. Okay, so the question is, how would you go about negotiating that offer, or should you not do that altogether? So, and this is probably an area where I don't have a lot of experience because, like you just said, Greg, times are changing. And so I think it's a pretty competitive market for engineering companies competing with one another to get engineers. But I guess where my mind was going on why I don't have a lot of experience in this is because sometimes it can be hard to negotiate if you're coming into an entry engineer position, and certain companies, they may have a pretty solid equation on how they figure out salary for an entry position. But I don't think it hurts to ask if there is room to negotiate. And again, can you speak to that, Greg?
I can just make a quick comment. I mean, I agree. It's part of the, learning all the things besides engineering to be successful in your career. But I think certainly one thing is if you try to not make it sound like you're all about the money. I think that can be kind of a turnoff if people get the impression that that's the number one thing on your mind. Now, of course, how you do that, that's where the skill comes in and the art. But that's just one thing to think about.
Yep, and that's true. And also, I do always appreciate if we make an offer to a person, and I think it's pretty normal to give them time to think about it, a couple of days. And I don't mind if they let me know that they have other offers that they are considering as well. That just kind of gives me an idea of why it's also important to give them some time to think about it. I don't want to rush an engineer, but also being realistic at the fact that they are considering more than one position. And also that's helped in some cases where we've made an offer and they say, well, I'm sitting on another offer. How quickly can we move? And that will speed things up on Avista's end to be more responsive if we know that they need more information on like what the offer entails as far as benefits to help them gauge and compare the two different offers. Let's see, for the cover letter, would it be a good idea to still write a custom one for the company, even if they don't ask for one on the application? So, I don't know. I haven't applied for positions outside of Avista, so I don't know if that's why I'm seeing kind of the drop in cover letters. From me just preparing for this interview, or not interview, for this presentation, and kind of just making sure that I was on point in providing experiences beyond just Avista's, it did seem like the cover letter is still fully encouraged. So I think of it as just, even if they don't ask for it, you could still provide it as a way for them to get to know you better. Again, you're going to be competing with others, and if you can help yourself stand out, I would say you're definitely not going to get dock points for providing a cover letter. They might just not take the time to read it, but if they are going to take the time to go through a cover letter, all the better for you if you're providing it in addition to your resume and maybe other applicants won't.